I am John Kaiser in Vancouver at the Metals Investor Forum on November 10th, 2017, speaking with Rick Mazur, CEO of Alto Ventures. Rick, welcome to Vancouver.
Okay.
Rick, in the past year, Alto has developed a major focus on one of the least explored greenstone belts in the Canadian Shield, the Oxford-Knee Lake belt, and you own a 30-kilometer set of claims straddling this belt. Why is this belt the least explored of all the Canadian Shield belts?
Well, that's a very good question, John. Our particular project, Oxford Lake, was discovered by Noranda back in 1988 to 1990. And because of a series of corporate events within the Noranda organization, it kind of got lost in the vault. And then through a series of sales, it ended up in Newmont's hands, and it got lost in their vault. Then we acquired it in 2004. During that time period, as an example, the Back River deposit, which is a very similar style of deposit, was explored by Miramar, by Kinross, and by Dundee Precious Metals. And over that time period that it was locked in the Noranda Newmont vault, they discovered 2 million ounces of gold. And I think that's the kind of potential that we have at Oxford Lake.
Now, that project has sucked up over $400 million in exploration expenses and is now, I guess, feasibility study done. You've spent maybe, $200,000-$300,000 on Oxford Lake so far?
I'd say about 500,000. We did an airborne survey in 2010, which really lit up the potential for that project. It certainly gave us an understanding of its exceptional potential. So that was in 2010, and we drilled it in 2012 with only 3 holes at the top of the market, and then of course it was a bear market for the last 5 years. So in total, this summer we had a 2-month exploration program on the ground, boots on the ground. So over those 3 years of real work on the project has been about $500,000. That's all that's been spent. And in total, there's only been 14,000 meters of drilling done, where there's been probably 500,000 meters of drilling done at, for instance, the Back River deposit. So it's extremely underexplored.
Now, there is a zone already there that Noranda outlined. It's 150,000 ounces or something like that, insufficient for development in this region. For the market to want to give you millions of dollars to start delineating a system, what do you feel you need to deliver as evidence that this is a large-scale gold camp that we have here, and we found the beginnings of it, and all we need is money to unravel it and demonstrate that we have another Musselwhite on our hands?
Yeah. Okay, so where they delineated the 150,000 ounces I don't think was their best target. Near the end of the program, 2 kilometers to the east, they discovered the Blue Jay zone, and they only got 3 drill holes into it. And the Blue Jay zone actually is a much better target than the first one that they drilled. They hit multiple zones of iron formation as opposed to a single zone in Rusty. The grades are much higher. We drilled it in 2012, and we got 6 grams over 7 meters with grades up to 22 grams per ton in one of those zones. So at the Blue Jay, our drilling plan is to demonstrate that, because there's only been 4 drill holes, 3 by Noranda, 1 by us, is to demonstrate that we can build tons there of similar grades that have been intersected. And then the other part of our program is going to be to explore in the Carrot River region, where Noranda drilled one single solitary hole, and they got 1 gram per ton, not economic, over 3 meters, over a 10-meter width of iron formation. Not economic, but it shows that the iron formation extends. That's 12 kilometers to the west of the Rusty Zone. It extends for quite a distance, and it is gold-bearing, and that is very, very significant.
Now the Abitibi Greenstone Belt, the prospective parts of it, there's claims always parked on top of that. But in this Greenstone Belt, you have 30 kilometers tied up. How much of it is still open and potentially interesting, and do you have any other competitors that are looking at the Oxford Lake, Knee Lake Greenstone Belt?
Yeah, Yamana Gold, who purchased the Monument Bay deposit from Mega Precious Metals. Monument Bay is in the northeast part of Manitoba. Yamana has a project in the Oxford Knee Lake belt called the Domain Gold Project, which they are have been drilling and are currently drilling. So they're exploring in the area. And more recently, there was a discovery of diamonds in the Oxford Knee Lake area by the Manitoba Geological Survey, which sparked a bit of a staking rush, and a number of prospectors and Altius Minerals picked up a big chunk of the Knee Lake Greenstone Belt in exploration for diamonds.
Your team has experience with diamond exploration. In surveying the land package that you have you observed anything that might give cause to hope that you're also sitting on potentially diamondiferous pipes?
From the magnetics that we've seen from our airborne geophysical survey, nothing stands out. The type of diamond occurrence that was discovered in the Knee Lake area and that Altius is exploring is a kind of a different style of deposit. It's in reworked sediments. The diamonds look like they've been eroded from something else and sort of reworked into a sedimentary kind of environment. So I don't know much about that, but nothing really stands out as a kimberlite.
I suppose that as they look for diamonds on their Greenstone Belt package, they'll also pick up other metals, and it's possible they may find gold potential within that belt and help give it a higher profile, so that it's not just one little operating mine with doing no exploration and one little junior with a small budget. This Oxford Lake belt could get a higher profile as a byproduct of Altius's interest in diamonds.
I would think so. I mean, they're an astute bunch of explorationists, and I'm sure that they'll be looking at the gold potential of the Knee Lake Greenstone Belt. Alto, Yamana, and Altius are all presenting next week at the Manitoba Mines Conference, so we'll gain a lot more intelligence at that conference.
And one final question. You own the Destiny deposit in Quebec, 1 gram, 600,000 ounces, more an optionality play. What are your plans for that project?
Yeah, our plans are, we've done the heavy lifting on that, and we've demonstrated that the continuity of the shear zone there is that contains gold goes on for 3 kilometers to 5 kilometers. So we'd like to find a partner that would like to really do a concerted drilling effort and take that project on and build it to the multi-million ounce potential that I believe it has.
I have been talking with Rick Mazur in Vancouver. Thank you, Rick.